Welcome back, guys, to episode 3 of Reflective Shenanigans. In spirit of school starting back up, I thought I'd like to tell you a fun story about my first substitute teacher job. So, let's reflect on that. Alright, guys, so quite a few years ago, I was a substitute teacher for about a year and a half, and the first time I ever substitute taught was the last day of school before Christmas break. It was at a junior high school, and it was for a theater class. Me being a theater person and currently teaching theater at the high school, I thought this was going to be a heyday and it was going to be a lot of fun, which it was for first and second period. It's only 30 minutes each. They were just making homemade Christmas cards, easy stuff. Then came third period, and instead of 30 minutes, it was more like 7 hours. So apparently, within these 7 hours, or I didn't last that long, and I'll get to that, these kids were super out of control. It was my first sub job, so I didn't have proper classroom management skills yet. So it is what it is. But these kids were just having the time of their lives, and eventually we started watching a movie. We watched Shrek 2, and like I said, it's the last day of school before Christmas, so one kid decided he was tired and he took a nap underneath the table, which is perfectly fine. I remember being in his shoes. I remember being a kid. However, his little friend had other plans. While he was sleeping, his friend walked up with a washable yellow marker, drew a little mustache on him, little frat boy shenanigans. And about a minute later, the kid apparently smelt the fumes, woke up, and he stormed out of the room. And I'm just like, all right, well, hopefully he comes back. About 2 minutes later, the kid came back from the bathroom, and he opened that door, and he is staring at his friend who just drew the mustache, and like daggers and lasers and any form of like destruction from your eyesight. This kid was channeling towards his friend, and he was just, and he just walked over, and just like in 300 with Leonidas, he just boom, straight up kicked this kid in the chest. The kid dropped like a sack of potatoes. I'm just like, oh my god! But in the inside, I'm like, oh, that was awesome. But of course, I can't say that because I was a substitute. So I was like, oh my god! All right, everyone, just calm down. You two, come on. It's like, kid, are you all right? You're wheezing. So I take him outside, and so I make them shake hands and apologize and yada, yada, yada. Here's where the story gets even more awkward than it already was, with this kid getting the wind knocked out of him. This little kid who I dubbed the informer, who told me everything about anyone, which I never asked for, but he just volunteered. He goes, Mr. One Acre, do you want me to go get an AP? They'll stop being rambunctious. I was like, you know what? Go for it. So the kid goes, and about 5 minutes later, he comes back with an AP and a female Harris County deputy sheriff. Now, this was very interesting, because I see this, and I'm like, all right. And all of a sudden, the deputy sheriff just goes, everybody shut up and sit down! And all of a sudden, these kids are just scattering it, little angels, and they're just like nothing just happened. And all of a sudden, the AP walked in and goes, Mr. One Acre, you can leave now. I was like, what? She's like, you can go. I was like, okay. So I get up and I leave, and right when the door is closing, I just hear the deputy sheriff just go, shut up! And the door closes. I'm like, oh. So we go down to the sub office. They assign me to another room, and it was like the D hall class with all the, adolescent kids. But they were great. I walk in, and we were just watching the Avengers until school got out. So it started off as a great day. The middle part was just weird. I didn't expect any of that to happen. But I'm glad I did, because it made for one fun story. And then the end of the day was fantastic. We watched the Avengers. Best Christmas present ever for a substitute. Thank you very much. Alright, guys. Well, that's the end of my first ever substitute job story. If you like what you heard, like and subscribe. Have fun. If you're a substitute teacher, leave a comment. Tell me about your experience. I'd love to hear it. Alright, guys. I'll see you next week for episode 4. Have a great day. Bye.